Hello everyone, now we are in the third part of serpentine pavilion. So in the last class we have done up to this mapping surface. Now what we need to do is we have to project these rectangles to this surface. So for doing that, first what we are doing is we are getting the center of these required squares. So basically what we are doing is we are using area toolbar through which we can get the center of every geometry. So when we connect it into it, so we will get our center of every rectangle. So now coming towards next thing, we need to project it. So we will use project. For project we have 2-3 types of options. So the option that we are going to use is this one, and this one, what is there, like the project, but if you see that we need points to project, which are these points, so I'm connecting these points directly, and we need the direction also and the geometry on which we want to project that. So geometry is this surface, so we are going to connect it here, and now we need to give the direction. So if I talk about the direction, so right now we have x-axis, so I will use the x unit, and though we need to go in the negative direction, so I am making it reverse. So in this way you will get all of the projections on your surface. So right now we have all the projections here. If I off these preview of these all surfaces, so you will get something like this. So now these are the projected dots. Now what we need to do is we need to make the rectangles here to complete this pavilion. So first what we will do is we will move these rectangles or squares we have to, as we have done we have projected our points. So basically what we will do is we will move them. So we are going to use the vector 2 point, which is this one. So in this one what we need to do is we have to give this points, which are the point A and then the point B. Now the point B will come from the projected one, because these are your centroids which are here, and we need to give the vector which is going in the backward. So this is the point B. So basically this is our vectors, and now what we need to do is we have to move these points with that vector value. So we will use move geometry, which is this one. So in this way you will move these centroid points, which are these ones, towards this vector value. So we are giving the vector value. So you will get all the rectangles at the back. So now after this we need the another rectangle which will complete the box, as you can see in this one. So we need 2 rectangles, one is at the back and one will be in the front, but you can see there is some pattern here. These boxes are smaller on the top and larger at the bottom. So what we need to do is we will go to our pattern, this one. So now we need to move these rectangles away from the surface, but it should be in some series. So for making that series, what we are going to do is, so this is our surface, so we are going to use the list item again, and this time we need we don't need our faces, but we need edges. So again I will use the list item. So I will connect all the edges here in the list, and as you can see right now it is So it is selecting one of the edge, like line like curve. So it's not visible, so I'm just trying to off other things so that it should be clear. So now this is our list. So we need to see this. So I'm just making it. So I think now it is the right curve which we have, which is at the top somewhere. So now this is our curve. So basically what I'm going to do is I need all the points which are projected here, which are these ones. So I need to make them pull. I need to use the command pull point. So this is the command. So for that thing I need my points which I want to pull. So these are my points. So I'm just going to put these points here, and I want a geometry here. So basically this is the geometry that pulls. So basically this is my geometry. You can see I have all the points on top of it. Now what we need is, we don't need the points, but we need the distance. As per like how much distance it is there, so far the point is, the more the distance is. So we will use that value for our extrusion. So here what we are going to use is, we need to remap it. So we are using remap. So remap we will use. So in this one again we will make the bound. So basically we need to make the bound. So basically this, it will take the highest and lowest value of the distance, and then we are going to use it as a source domain, and the points will directly go to this one, which is your value to remap. And value to remap, we need to make the new domain. So I am just going to construct domain. So here I am going to put the values. So as far as like we have used 1 mm by 1 mm distance, so we are going to use it around the start of the 0.66. I'm just taking the random values, so 2.4. This is my start of the domain and this is my end of the domain. So these are my two values. So this is my target value. So if you see my new domain, so it is like this. So here we have changed the values of the pull points distance to our required values. So now we have the values, so we need to move them. So how we want to move them? We want to move along the x-axis but in a positive direction. So we are going to use the x unit. These values will go to x unit, and then after that we need to move these points. So basically for moving it, we will use the move. So this is the move command. So this is your, what we call the translation vector, and the geometry will be your rectangles. So basically these will be your the rectangles which are going to be there, or you can move the points also as per your need. So what we will do is, we will move this geometry first. So you can see now your geometry has come forward. So it will be something like this. So now if you see, like if you want to change the values, so you can change it by this method. You can increase it as much as you want, or you can decrease it as much as you want. So now we have like the squares or rectangles and we need to join them to make the form. But as you can see, it's a complete box, so we need two boxes here, two rectangles at every point, so that we can make a solid of it, not just the surface. So for making that, we need to scale this rectangle here a bit less. So basically what we are going to do is we are going to scale these two rectangles. So basically we have these rectangles and we have these rectangles. We have two rectangles here, so we will use the scale command. This is this one. So here the scale factor will be around 0.96. This is our scale factor. So the geometry will be, so here what we need to do is we need to give the center. So the center will be, in this case the center will be our projected points and this will be our geometry. So you can see I have a little small rectangles here. These are my those bigger rectangles and these are my small rectangles. And similarly I have to scale these ones. So for getting the center point of all these, so I'm just using area command again. So by putting this geometry here, again I will get the centers here in the front. So I will use scale command again, Control C, Control V. The scaling factor will be the same, but this time the center will be this one and the geometry will be this one. You can see you have two rectangles here and two rectangles here. So now what we need to do is we need to loft them. So for making loft, what we are going to use is we have these two rectangles, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the scaled ones of this one and these are the scaled one of this one. So for going there, we are going to merge them. So this is our, so we need to make the 4 permutation combination to make the complete box. So first, in the first case, we will use this one and this one, and we will graft them. And similarly, in the next one, I will going to use this one and this one, and again I am going to graft them. But in this case now we have to crisscross. So basically this time I am going to use but in the next one what we need to do is we will select this one and this one. Again I am going to graft it, and similarly I am going to graft this one also, and this time I am going to add this one. So now if you see, and I am just make off all these so here I have the rectangles which are at the back, here I have rectangles which are at the front, here I have rectangles which are outer side, which will make outer body, and this will make the inner body. So now I am going to use the loft. So loft command, you will need to give this one and it will make the loft. So similarly I will use this one to make the front part, and then Control C, Control V again. So this time it will make this part, the outer body, and one time more, so it will make the inner body also. So using 4 loft we have done the boxes like this. So now what we need to do is we need to merge them again. So like this. this is our final form, so we can bake them. So click on bake and click on layer 3. So if I select my rhino object, so you can see this is what we are getting. This is the output. So I think it is pretty clear that how to make it. So you can increase the that value for your bounds or your domain, make it more larger at the base, but otherwise the concept will be same. So now we need to do the same thing for the another surface which is there. So for going that, now what is going to be happen, that we need the whole script. But what is actually going here, that if you see that image, that it is having the alternate boxes at the other side. So it is not having the same series here, it is, the series is different. So in that case, what we need to do is we need to manipulate script a little bit. So here what we will do is everything is going staying like rectangular gradient split. But when you are splitting it, the format will change. Now what we'll have is, so now we will click on this one. So this time we will have 0, 2, dot dot dot, and this time this value will be 1, 3, dot 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 dot. And similarly we will change the other value also, like 1, 3, dot dot dot. So this time I will have value 0, 2, dot dot dot, so on. So this value will be there, and I will click on the multiline data, and then I will connect this part here. You will see it will take a little bit of time because it is going to be changed the whole script here. So now our surface will also change, but here one more thing will change, that is when we will change our surface. So you can see now this time the box will become on this side. So we need to see on which side we are getting our box. So I will make the surface again. This time I am selecting this one. So this surface has been selected now. So again I will use the bounding box, which is BBO. So again per object is there, so I will click like this. But you can see this is there, and then I will use the deconstruct grep, which is this one. So I am going to use my grep here. So it will give me the faces and everything. So I am going to use the list item again. List item is there, so I'm going to use my all the faces here. So it will select one of them, which is this one, but I need this one. So again I will use my number slider to get my right item. So this time it is giving that face. Again I don't need it. I'm going to use it one, so it is giving this one. I don't need it, this one also. So I will go to third. So it is giving me the right one. So this is my surface that I want, and then I have to map it, which we have done here. So what we need to do is now that this is my item which I am going to map here. So just click it like this, so you will get everything here. Now what will happen is we are going to project them. So for projecting it, so again what I need to do is, this time my direction will be different. This time I have a positive X. So I'm going to remove this one and I'm going to use this X directly. So I am just removing this reverse item, and then I will select my surface, which is this one, which I'm going to apply here. So now what will happen is my project items will be on this surface. So rest everything will be the same centroids and all, but here in the pull item we have used the surface again, which is this one. So we need to find out again the top curve which has to be there. So again I am going to use the list item. So I will connect my edges here and I will use number slider to get the right curve. Again it is selecting this one which is at the bottom. I need to go to 2. I think second is also not the option, then 1. So 1 is also not the option. So I'm going to use it 4. 4 is this one, 5. So 5 is the curve that I want. So now the way we have used list item here, so I'm going to change my list item value also. So by changing this value you will get your pull points here, and after that similarly you will make your bound value and it will create your all the members. So for instance, if you want to see it, just make sure that the script for this surface is on the top, and we are going to make this one. So now I have to hide all these elements just to make it more clear. So you can delete these ones also, so just this surface. So now he has to project all these elements to this thing, and here you know that when we are going to move this geometry, which is again in the positive direction, which will come here, but this time as that we are going to use the remap value, which is going to move these points, or you can say the geometries, it will be in the opposite direction. So we need to use the reverse here. So it will first go to this one and then go into this one. So in this way all the elements will come in the forward. So now again the rest script will be same. So when you preview it, so it will show you something like this on this part. So again I will make a new layer. So I'm going to bake it. So now if you see these two parts, so this is your pavilion, which is open right now, but we can close it. One of the surface is little bigger one and one of the surface is little smaller. That's why this thing is coming up, but otherwise the methodology is same, so you can go ahead with this one. This is how it will be. I'm just off the preview of it. So here we have the serpentine pavilion along with all the things. I hope this tutorial will help you to make this pavilion. Thank you.